Hello Likers, welcome back to our channel. It's me, your fave, your one and only, your baby girl Malaika. So Likers, today we are doing the critical review of Mr. Aloy's series When Marriage Becomes a Nightmare, episode 5. It starts with Clara, who went to visit her ex-boyfriend Hanks, and they were having a very good time. They were talking about old time, and everything. And all of a sudden Clara's phone starts ringing. Remember that her friend, her dear friend Debbie, had called her husband to do a mebo, saying that Clara went to see her ex-boyfriend. So eventually her husband will call. So when her husband is calling, Clara has no intention of picking, because already she doesn't want to lie, because she knows that her husband would definitely want to know one or two. But Hanks is forcing her to pick up the call, and so Clara had to pick up the call. But now Clara's instinct kicks in. You can't blame her, like us, because this is a married woman. She knows that she's somewhere that she's not supposed to be. The next thing shows her husband Joe, who is asking her. He's trying to find her, like, babe, where are you? Because he has had some infos, that Clara has gone to see her ex-boyfriend. Now he's pretending as if like he wants to know where Clara is, stuff like that, because he intends to to question her and everything. So Clara is saying that she went to the market. But how can you go to the market and there's no noise? And at the end of the day, she shunned her husband. So Joe knows that his wife did not go to the market because there's proof there's no noise, and Joe decided to just keep quiet. So the next scene shows Hanks and Clara, and Hanks is wondering like, but we are just sitting here, in this beautiful garden. We are just chillaxing, just talking for old time's sake. We are not doing anything bad. Why would you lie? You didn't have to. But Hanks failed to understand that, this is a man. He will not, like, they're already having issues, and he has, low self-esteem, because he's feeling like he's not giving his wife what she needs and all the rest. And now with the fact that there's this problem, that his wife is stepping out to go and see her ex-boyfriend, so eventually she cannot tell him the truth. So to him it's more like maybe Clara, the marriage is not that perfect. No marriage is perfect. Besides, Clara never said her marriage was perfect. So Clara didn't bother. Like, to her it is okay, she has sorted out her issues. Then Hank started talking about his achievements, how he's building, has his building, like, and Clara was happy for him. But he wanted them to go and see it, for her to see his project, what he's up to and all the rest. And Hanks is being the perfect gentleman. He pull out the seats, he almost, that's how men are sometimes. They'll pull out the seat and all the rest, but at the end, how long will he do that for you? Some men, anyway, some men, they will be doing that. So he was very gentle. He was being a gentleman, helping her and all the rest. The next thing shows Joe, who is fetching water for the where he's working, but he fell asleep. He's so tired, he's exhausted. And that is Clara and Hanks. So Joe has been working in Hanks' construction site, without knowing. And Clara was impressed, she was amazed by Joe's achievements. And to her, it was more like, guy, come on, don't be that modest. This is a twin building. You cannot call it a little project. This is a huge project, So Clara was appreciating his efforts. Clara was like, wow, guy, you've done it, And Clara wanted to find out where he was living, why he's building. So he said he wasn't living far from that area. So the guy was just being modest, And Clara was so proud of him for the man that he has become. And now he wanted to go and see the engineer, of the building and all the rest. The foreman, yes, is a foreman. So he came and saw somebody sitting, so he tapped the person. It's Joe, and the media Joe thought maybe that was the foreman, trying to tap him. So he woke up, and Clara was there. Clara didn't notice that was her husband. Clara was admiring her ex's work and all the rest, only for Joe to lift up his head and see his wife like us. That was crazy. Even Clara herself was shocked as well, both, because to Joe it was more like, aren't you supposed to be at work in the office? And Joe also was more like, aren't you supposed to be at the market? You told me you were at the market. Aren't you supposed to be at the market and all the rest? So what are you doing here? So Joe was confused. Joe wanted to know what Clara was doing there and how come Clara was with that guy and all the rest. It's normal. Both were asking questions, like, Omo, what is this? What are you doing here? Why are you here and all the rest? Because to Clara, it was confusing. Her husband is supposed to be in an office. So what is her husband doing in a construction site? Dressed like that. She couldn't believe it, and she's trying to grab it, grab her hand around it to grab it, but nothing, because to her she wants to understand. So is this where you drive your Lexus car from the house to everyday? Making me understand, that you're going to an office. Whoo! She was angry. She was extremely angry, and she just had to leave because she couldn't even speak. So Hanks, now knowing fully well that it was him who brought her there, so he cannot just let her go with that anger. So he had to go after her, trying to calm her down. The next thing shows Clara, who is walking so fast. She's super angry. She can't believe that this is happening. She can't believe that, like, there's this type of problem and everything. So Hanks is trying to understand, like, what is going on. Just calm down. I thought you told me that your husband was working in an office. So what's up? What's going on? How come he is working in how come he's there working at my building site? Like, what's going on? What is happening? So she's trying to wrap her head around. To her, it's more like, I don't know, I can't tell you anything, I don't know what to say, I promise you, I don't know anything, I don't know what to explain to you and all the rest. But I've noticed that. So she started explaining certain things that normally she wasn't supposed to explain, but based on the fact that she was so angry, she was in so much anger and confusion, so she had to tell him, talk about the fact that he's been moody, he's been complaining about food, everything, nothing, he's been nagging practically, for some time now. He's been nagging, nothing is right, everything is just wrong. He's any little thing he complains, whatever it is he complains, stuff like that. But to me, I think she wasn't supposed to explain those stuff because that is personal. So to her, Hanks couldn't understand. She just had to she just had to leave because she was really super angry. At this point she was really angry. So the next thing shows, as Hanks was just standing there watching Clara leave, Joe just came from nowhere and started punching him. And Hanks is a man as well, so he will not let imagine a guy who is walking on his side beat him up. So he fought back. They started fighting, they were going back and forth and everything, they were punching each other, and I don't think you can have a job after this. So the next thing shows Joe with Kennedy and Emeka, his friends. Emeka was infuriated. Would I even say he was infuriated? To Emeka, it was more like, guy, your wife is effing her ex, almost like, how? Why would she lie? Why was she there? To him, instead of trying to diffuse the situation, he was pouring fuel into the fire. you know. So to him it was more like, oh, she has effed that guy. So to him it was more like they were coming from a hotel to that site, after he has effed her, he took her to the site, to show his achievements. That's how women are. You can't trust women. He started downgrading women, started talking all sorts of trash about women, this, women that. It was, there are some men, I swear you should not let your husband be friends with them. Yes, like us, I promise you guys. There are certain men, when you see, because women have sixth sense, when you see it, don't let your husband be friends with them, because they will destroy your home. So Kennedy, who is the reasonable one, Kennedy is trying to make her understand. Kennedy, the guy with the check, like the flowery shirt, is making a maker and Joe understand that marriage is not like this. That he wants a maker Joe to understand that you cannot be keeping things from your wife, from your spouse. Besides, that was the reason why I told you to specifically tell her that you've lost your job. She would have understood, but you chose not to say anything. You chose to keep quiet. You chose to do things your way. And now what do you want? Now she has found out. I asked you to tell your wife, she'll understand, but you said no, you are the man. You wanted to play it safe. How safe can you play? How safe can you be? And the only thing Emeka had to say, Emeka, the one with the black cap, face cap, and the shirt, I don't know what color is his shirt. I don't know if it's gray, line, I don't know. So Emeka, it was more like, guy, forget about those women are I don't want to use the word bitches, So just forget, you understand. Like, so he was trying to discourage his friend not to trust his wife, to know that his wife has effed that guy, and in his place, once a woman another man, her husband is not supposed to eat her food, and he's not supposed to knock her anymore, because if he does, he will buy, And Kennedy was so infuriated. He was so angry. He was like, guy, what is your business? You don't even have a relationship of your own. You can't keep a relationship. So how can you possibly advise people on relationship matter? How is that even possible? How can you advise people? You're busy talking about this guy, this lady, and all the rest. Were you there holding the lamp, and seeing how they were practically effing? Like, you cannot be doing this. This is not right. They don't do that. That is very wrong. So she tried to make them understand that in marriage, you people have to dialogue. It takes two, a man and a woman, but you guys have to come together and speak. You cannot be deciding things. And the only thing this guy had to say, Joe, was that as soon as he gets home, he's going to, as soon as he gets home, he's going to end the marriage. He's going to throw his wife out of the house, And Emeka was happy too. Emeka was like, guy, you're the best, This is what you're supposed to do. This is how it should be done. You understand? This is how it should be done. I'm happy. Throw her out of the house, like, do anyhow. Do whatever you want to do. It is your right. Just do anyhow. And Joe, I don't know why, Joe, you have two friends, and there's this one that's so negative. You chose to be taking advice from him. You leave the positive one and you're taking advice from the negative one. Are you okay? So to Joe, it was more like he would just go home, sit his wife down, talk to her, try to hear one or two, whatever it is that she has to say, and later he will just carry her kaya and throw it out, because to him, she has stepped out of their marriage, and he can't see himself being with a woman that has stepped out of that marriage. And this guy, Kennedy, is trying to make him understand that, guy, be very careful. Be careful with this thing you've started. So the next thing shows Joe, who gets home, he's so angry, and he, like, the way he got home, you see that he's trying to avoid certain things. He didn't want to talk. He was being so uptight. But his wife Clara, she wanted to talk, so she tried to find out like why is it that Joe have been lying all this while about his work. Joe couldn't still respond to that. To him his best response was more like, I'm a man, men don't talk too much, men don't tell their women nothing. As a man, you're supposed to keep things to yourself no matter how tough it is. That is why many men buy before their time. A woman is your help. A woman is not your enemy. A woman is not your rival. You people are not fighting for that position. You are the head. She comes after. But for you guys to make it work, you have to work together. That's how marriage is a partnership. But that does not mean the woman is equal to the man. No, the man is superior because God made it that way. But now for those men that will say that I am a man because I'm a man, no, talk to your wife. You talking to your wife doesn't make you weak. No, it doesn't make you a weak person. It's not because you are a weakling. No. 2 heads are better than 1. Yes, that's why you're talking to your wife. Clara was so pissed because the only thing he could hear was his ego speaking for him. The only thing he had to say was like, I am a man, I have this under control. Yes, I lost my job and the business that I went into, I got scammed, stuff like that, blah, 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 and all the rest. But guy, that is not how it works. You talk with this woman. Besides, she sold everything to give him that money, She helped him. So how come she's not supposed to? Why would she know when you want to start a business, but she wouldn't know when the business fails? Is it that a man is not supposed to fail? Of course a man can fail. That doesn't make you a failure. No. Before people stand in business, do you know how many times they've fallen? Before Dangote, are you sure he has not fallen in his life? What makes you weak is not the fact that you fall, it's the fact that you stay on the ground. And what makes you strong is not the fact that you fell, it's the fact that you fell and you rose up. Honestly speaking, people should stop carrying burdens on them, saying I'm a man. And so what? You're a man, you have BLOOD going through your veins. Yes, it is not fish BLOOD that you have, it's human. So you are human as well. So Clara was so pissed because Joe didn't want to say anything, but Joe was busy wanting to know what she was doing with this guy, Hanks. And at that point, like, Clara had enough. She just made Joe to understand that since you cannot talk to me as your wife, you don't want to tell me what you're doing, you don't want to fill me in any of your activities, cool. But henceforth, know that I will not fill you in mine as well. You understand? You like, do you, let me do me, that is wrong. It's not supposed to be like that. It's not supposed to do you, I do me. No, it's supposed to be a team, us. It's supposed to be an us. So like, as we are going to end this video, honestly speaking, my advice, I know I'm not married, but I have a little bit of knowledge. My advice is for couples out there is that you guys have to work together to make it work, honestly speaking. If not, it will not work. Yes, if not, it will not work. One person cannot do it. One person cannot. I promise you guys, you have to work together for it to make it work. Okay, and marriage is not the end of the world. If you're not married, it's not the end of the world. It's not a sickness. If it's not working, it's not working. Okay, protect your mental health. So on this note, I have to say bye guys, take care of yourself. Mwah.